Beat on the door pretty hard.
No harder than any other door, ma'am.
Okay.
What am I here for today, ma'am?
Oh, what's your name?
Sterl, badge 10756. Hello, YouTube.
Hello. Yes, there. So, you have my YouTube channel?
No, ma'am, I don't.
Well, then how do you know I'm on YouTube?
I have prior knowledge, ma'am.
Okay. So, let me make sure I understand. So, you guys, the police department and the government has had knowledge of my YouTube channel, but have deprived me of investigation at all police departments and avenues of law enforcement?
No, ma'am, that's not what I said.
Okay, so you did say hello, YouTube, and you have prior knowledge?
I did, yes, ma'am.
Okay, so this would mean that the government has access to my YouTube channel, and instead of doing anything to help me get out of my abuse,
how can I help you today, ma'am?
They have been conspired with the crimes and cover for them?
All right, ma'am.
These are felonies.
Allow me to help you, I'm going to leave.
Okay, are you trying to control me by depriving me of law enforcement like you guys have been doing for years?
Ma'am, if you're not going to let me know what I need to do to help you...
Okay, so you're trying to intimidate me and control this conversation?
You have a nice evening, ma'am.
Let me get your comments. Here are the crimes. You have no right. This is a felony, sir, that you guys are racking up. You have no right to get caught in your criminal activity and try to control me. You need your felony to tamper with evidence over and over again, depriving someone for the right of reporting domestic violence and child abuse as you've been doing years.
Ma'am, if you continue to call 911...
Don't try to... You are committing a felony.
I will arrest
This is
you
a
for
felony. Don't try to threaten me when you guys commit...
Exists.
It is. You are committing crimes. This is felony. Don't try to torture me with your abuse.
You have called 3 times today.
And you have committed felonies years.
Ma'am.
You are racking up federal crimes. Now go ahead and go to your car because you need your charge.
Stop calling 911.
Don't try to... I have been... My son was hit with a car. My son was hit with a car.
Are you trying to report something now?
My son was hit with a car. Another person got murdered in Tyler, in East Texas with a car. Got hit 2 times in one night. There's a dent in my car. I was hit with a car.
Okay.
My job lied and conspired to keep me from working there. I'm getting railroaded. I have multiple false arrests in the teens.
Okay. So how can I help you?
Why are you guys refusing law enforcement for me? Why would the government enforce criminal activity and deprive me of law enforcement and try to cover for these crimes?
I have no knowledge that is existing.
Okay, well, I want to do a police report of what I reported to you, that law enforcement has been denied. My car was hit, my son was hit with a car, and I know someone that got murdered. I got hit 2 times in one night.
Where's your son?
We're deflecting. No, I'm trying to establish a pattern. So I just said someone was murdered. Got hit 2 times in one night.
So are you worried about...
So you are deflecting and want to know where my son is?
Yes, ma'am. Because he was hit by a car. So are you more worried about apparently the government railroading you, or are you worried about... I think If you're not worried about a murder, ma'am, then I
don't know why you would gaslight me and continue to cover for crimes that is felonies.
Who got murdered?
I don't... it's a distant relative. So what I want to do, you can do an investigation and talk to other parties.
No, ma'am, I can't. You said that it happened in East Texas. That does not fall into my jurisdiction.
Oh, it doesn't follow in your jurisdiction? Okay. Well, no law enforcement is, in part of the jurisdiction. But where's your body cam?
Right here.
Okay, can I see? Okay. And you're 10756.
That's correct.
So you guys have prior knowledge of the YouTube channel. You cover for it. And enforce criminal activity and deprive me of witness protection and any kind of assistance to escape your abuse. So give me the report number that you guys crimes, and so you can eventually get the consequences for the crimes you deserve.
I don't have any report number to give you, ma'am.
That's a felony. So you came out here to tamper with evidence and deprive me of a report stating that someone got hit with a car. I was hit in a possible murder that you're covering and enforcing for. That's a crime.
Have an emergency to report at
So you're depriving me of a report, committing another felony?
No, ma'am.
So if my son got hit with a car, I was hit and have a dent in my car right now, why would you deprive me of a report number for this?
You're not trying to report it. I've asked you 3 or 4 times now. I asked you who was murdered. I asked you about your son. And you're deflecting. You're trying to give... Are
you gaslighting me to cover for these crimes, these felonies you guys are wrecking up? What do you need?
How you'd like to proceed.
What do you need to do a report, sir? What do you need?
I need a complainant. I need elements of an offense.
Okay, so my son...
That occur within my jurisdiction.
Okay, you're Dallas?
Yes, ma'am.
My son was hit I already reported it to the police that he was hit. It was around 6 of 2015.
Okay.
The police took a report and I'm being deprived of records for that.
Okay.
My car was hit. It must have been like May. of 2022 this year. My my insurance company covered for it. She said that the person that hit me got caught in lies. He called me the B word and then lied and said that I was fleeing the scene.
Okay.
He cursed me out. He said he saw me all the way down the street, but some kind of way he still hit me.
Okay.
I was turning around.
Okay.
So if he saw me all the way down the street, why would he hit me? And then some kind of way. Yeah, so you stated, I'm not going to put you on camera, but you stated you called me when you got out the hospital, and I never got the call.
Okay.
Don't you think that's weird? I was upset with you because I texted you to see how you were doing.
Yeah, I didn't. My phone been messing up because I ain't been getting nobody text.
No, my phone is hacked. They want to investigate.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
But you okay?
Yeah, no, because these police have been getting away with a lot of crimes, you know, and they have no right to hack my phone network and keep me isolated, and they could get away with these felonies over and over again. So we have that I've been hit with a car.
Yes, ma'am. You said you reported that one.
No, I didn't. I've never reported that.
Which one did you report?
I reported my son, but what I'm trying to do is give you the elements of a crime that you need, that some people are stunt drivers.
You said that you have already reported your son getting hit.
Right, but I also got hit, and there's evidence that people are...
Crash is not necessarily...
if it was intentional, my son someone waited till my son took out the trash and hit him with a car. Tamper with evidence is a felony. So if you came out here to enforce criminal activity and deprive me of law enforcement for these accidents that are then someone getting hit 2 times in one night, I don't have all his information. It was a distant family member. But whatever happened to that individual...
Texas, is that correct?
Don't you link, if you're not committing felonies, aren't you supposed to link with all law enforcement
No, ma'am.
agencies?
No, ma'am.
Okay, so now the police only wants to, okay, so now you only take reports of what's in Dallas, and you're only willing to investigate what happened in Dallas. Is that correct?
That's not what I said.
Okay, so we're getting a lot of evidence of criminal activity, and tamper with the evidence is a felony.
The only criminal activity I see here, ma'am, is you calling 911 when no offense.
If someone was murdered and got hit with a car 2 times in one night, it's like you're committing clear-cut felonies right now, and trying to threaten me with saying that I'm abusing the 911 call system. That's a misdemeanor. You're committing a felony right now that you're disregarding. Yes, it is, because you're depriving me of a report for these extreme events that happened in Dallas. That is a felony. I'd like a report number for these extreme events. If my son was hit with a car and then someone hit me on purpose, and you deprive me of a report, that's a felony crime.
Why did you wait so long to call 911?
Because you keep covering for crimes, bullying me, and violating me for cover up. So I would like to report it today.
And your insurance is already taking care of it?
I'm reporting the crime. I think that my abuser that you guys have been violating me, covering up for him for years, is behind these accidents.
Charlie 432, can I get a supervisor to my location?
So they have to call the supervisors. When they get backed in the corner to abide by the law, they call supervisors out to bully and enforce the criminal activity, because they don't want this stuff on camera footage. They don't want to abide by the law and do a police report. So they call the supervisors out to enforce the felony crime when they don't want to get the charge. This is how it works. Where's your car at?
Down there, ma'am.
Okay, let's see where you parked. Trying to intimidate me year after year for racking up these felonies. I'm tired of it. Arresting me, assaulting me when I wasn't recording. This is the criminal right here. This is a felony charge that they've been getting away with years. And I guess that they don't think that the YouTubers, any of them, have any power to consistently keep getting away with this. So what do they do when they get in a bind to abide by the law? They just call the supervisor out to violate and enforce the crimes. So here we go. I'm reporting my son got hit. I got hit. Then someone got hit in East Texas and got killed. And he's bullying and violating me in my report. Well, it's a felony charge to hear these reports and then conspire with whoever you're calling out here to sabotage my report. That's a felony offense.
Under what charge?
Tampering with evidence is a felony. And depriving me of a police report number for such extreme allegations is a crime, and depriving me of law enforcement at every avenue of law enforcement is criminal.
I've already asked you all the information I can. You're not answering the question.
That's a blatant lie. Slandering me to validate your bad behavior is not acceptable. I've given you everything that you needed. I informed you that someone was killed in East Texas. You said that's not in your jurisdiction, so you didn't want to develop a connection. Then in addition to that, I told you my son was hit. Someone waited for him to take out the trash and hit him with a car. Then in addition to that, I told you I was hit. And it was shows that that this party who hit me stated and got caught in lies that he saw me down the street. So yet and still hit me anyway. Called me the B word, cussed me out, threatened me, then lied and said I was fleeing the scene. And then you're lying, tampering with evidence, and you don't see a connection in what's obvious, which is a felony crime, as well as all law enforcement that I've came into contact with. But you know what? You guys have assaulted me, arrested me, violated me, mistreated me, demeaned me, disregarded me long enough. I'm ready for it to end and for you guys to get the consequences you deserve. You've done it for years, and something needs to be done.
Yes, ma'am. I apologize for you feeling that way.
Well, I mean, I don't know how many people get mistreated at bus stops. You know, someone calling in, disturbances at bus stops. But we can't seem to get down to the origin of why I keep getting terrorized by the police department.
It might have something to do with your attitude, maybe?
Deflecting and gaslighting me for falsifying information in reports, assaulting me at a domestic violence support group, and lying and tampering with evidence is not okay. It's not acceptable. To gaslight me to validate why you won't take a report of my son getting hit with a car, then my car getting hit in a scheme.
You've actually already reported your son getting hit by a car.
Right, but it's a connection when I got hit with my car got hit too. No, they haven't reported it. They won't investigate. How are they? I mean, I'm reporting it today, and you're depriving me of that investigation, which is a crime, a felony.
Yes, ma'am. Okay. Arrest me.
Arrest me. Well, this is our government now.
Yes, ma'am.
So I have to see on what bully they send out to enforce the crimes, as they have been doing years. At first, I didn't know if they were going to kill me. You don't know. I did not know if the police department was going to murder me for profit. Who's not conspiring with it? Everywhere I go, they want to be a conspirator. Every single location I go. Why are you trying to get out of a way of reporting that too? I believe it was like April something. I've never reported it because I couldn't get law enforcement. I've established a pattern that you guys have been enforcing and covering up for years. You won't investigate. 100 and something reports. And then bully me, violate me, which in the past included assaults.
When did your 100 and something reports begin, ma'am?
Oh, it's been a while. I would say when it really got out of control, my report when my son got hit with a car. 2015, when the police tried to cover for it, and he was bleeding.
So since 2015, you've called police 100-something times and made multiple reports, you said?
Right, because if you get threatened 3 or 4 times a day, threats, you are supposed to be able to report threats. You're supposed to be able to report getting robbed and attacks. That's a right that citizens are supposed to have. You're supposed to be able to report multiple conspirators and interference with child custody that's been going on with 2 different children years. You were supposed to have that right to report that. You're supposed to have the right to report getting ran off the road with video footage. You're supposed to have that right. You should have the right to report food stamps getting stolen. You're supposed to have that right. You're supposed to have the right for your bank depriving you of funds in your account. You're supposed to have that right. You're supposed to, this is how it is. It's no big deal. It was no big deal before COVID. You're supposed to have the right to also report Attorney General stealing child support payments and Social Security crimes and embezzlement. But some kind of way, that's why it's 100 and something reports. You're supposed to have the right to report someone is controlling your card to sabotage your access to funds in Dangerfield, in Longview, and Dangerfield. But some kind of way I slipped through the cracks. Evidence of that is for me going to Longview Attorney General, having to get my card activated again. But some kind of way you misguided and bully me on all this chaos I've experienced. If you get threatened 3 or 4 times a day and you have all this chaos going on, it's criminal for you to deprive me of the right to report it. If my ability to report that I have no constitutional right to even appear at court is stolen from me, and then I try to report it to the FBI and they deprive me of that right, these are felonies you guys are racking up. Let's see what supervisor comes out to bully and taunt. He's running the government. We can see this. I've lived in terror long enough with this madness. I don't want to continue to live in it. I will keep reporting until they get the consequences they deserve. They have no right to continue to terrorize my family as well as myself and get away with it. Gaslighting and violating and mistreating me, trying to cover and get out of they're trying to escape their abuse. And bully me and enforce the abuse continues to go on. Enlist innocent citizens, churches, people in the community to help them get away with their criminal activity and violate me and mistreat me in the process. If I'm not willing, I can't use the bathroom?
Ma'am,
If I can't use the bathroom and you're going to leave if I use the bathroom?
That's not what I said.
Well, I would like to use the bathroom. Are you depriving me of the right to use the bathroom?
No, ma'am, don't be ridiculous.
Okay, well, can I use the bathroom?
Are you going to come back out?
Of course. I just said I'll be right back, and I wanted to use the bathroom, and you said you're going to leave, trying to enforce that I stay here.
Sure.
Okay.
Go right ahead, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. I'm doing a report now. I don't want to deflect. I want to get solutions for today on why you're tampering with evidence and committing a felony and so many other police commit crimes. Depriving me of law enforcement. We're not getting a resolution for that. We just keep deflecting. Why are you gaslighting me? That's abusive. So because you're depriving me of law enforcement, you're telling me I don't want help?
Yes, ma'am.
That would be a blatant lie and abusive. That's sadistic. If I called you, I want assistance. Depriving me of law enforcement is a crime and abusive.
Ma'am, there's nothing I can report for you today. Because the people that got murdered in East Texas, you won't give me any information on that. Your son got hit by a car in April, May, I believe you said. And you've already reported that. In April, your car
There was no
got-
investigation.
Yes, ma'am, that's because you never reported it, right?
There's no investigation.
Okay. So,
Can we get away from, I can't trust law enforcement. So you want to be over there?
I'm right here, ma'am.
Okay, they want you to have access to where I stay. There is deliberate schemes. So he wants to stand by the door so you can see so then they can blame more crimes on the YouTubers. It's deliberate. So can you get away from the door because I'm deprived of law enforcement?
You invited me into your house.
But I just don't want you to be by the door, sir. I'm deprived of law enforcement. The government abuses power to make sure I never get law enforcement. So since I'm not able to get law enforcement, if I have an emergency, I can't get help. The government has blacklisted me from help and services. So even to the degree of calling 911. So since you guys are depriving me of law enforcement, I don't want you to stand by that door. So you can, have an alibi for any other abuse you set up.
That makes no sense, ma'am.
Okay, it makes no sense for you to enforce that you stay in front of that door. And I've asked you not to stand in front of the door and jeopardize my safety. But you refuse to not do so. That makes no sense. If I've asked you to step away from that door, endangering another party's safety with putting their door number on a YouTube channel, and you deprive me of that right to get away from the door.
You're filming.
Right, but you can't move away from the door like I've asked you. You're not committing crimes, remember?
It's not a crime.
If you bully me and come out here to intimidate me and enforce criminal activity, that is a crime. You can't terrorize someone into not reporting your crimes. That's criminal.
Ma'am, you are fully allowed to film police wherever and whenever you want.
Right, but you won't move away from the door as in when they had forced me to keep my door open in another scheme. And I am asking you to step away from the door with the door number exposed, and you won't. That is a clear cut that you're trying to jeopardize my safety, as you have done for years, and hassle me and violate me for reporting crimes as you've already done, which is criminal.
I don't believe I ever met you before, ma'am.
The government and police departments, as you've heard, with a multitude of departments depriving me of law enforcement. You've already heard that and covered for it.
Actually, ma'am, I offered to give you the information for our records department. You declined that as well.
Well, I just want to know why I'm being deprived and bullied of law enforcement.
Because you refused to take the help that's being given to you, ma'am.
What help? Because I thought tampering with evidence and refusing investigation was criminal. I didn't think that police had that right to make that choice. I don't understand why I have to do things my own law enforcement instead of you doing it. I don't know why I'm referred other locations to get law enforcement, and you get away with depriving me of my civil right to law enforcement, my rights to be protected and served by the government like I'm supposed to. So I don't know why you have to refer me to law enforcement and other avenues instead of you committing a crime and depriving me of that right now.
We have an open records department, ma'am.
I'm reporting crimes today, and tampering with evidence and depriving me of a report is criminal.
It's not tampering with evidence.
It is, because I reported that someone hit my son with a car, and later I was hit with a car. Someone hit my car, and this is my first time reporting that it was intentional. He got caught in lies, and you're covering for it.
No,
And I think this wealthy abuser that I've been assaulted and mistreated for trying to report him may have something to do with it. And by you depriving me of the report to cover up for him, like all police departments, FBI, and all locations have done, is a crime. All I want to do is make a report. You don't investigate it. But not allowing me to do this report is actually a crime. It's criminal. And I don't understand why so many police jeopardize their livelihood and commit these open felonies with no consequences. Why would you deprive me of a report of something so serious? No, because your schemes for me to keep it running, that so when they come out and start bullying, then there's no footage of that.
I have 32.
Yeah, and you're not to be trusted. You're committing a crime right now by denying me a police report. That's criminal. To cover up for my abuser as you've done years, you're committing an active crime right now. I had to get my phone out. I had to get my phone because police aren't to be trusted. I don't know if they'll shoot me in the scheme. They've gotten away with so much. So when you have to get your phone out to be protected against the police, can you imagine how that feels? Because I may have to call someone on the police, but they won't get it, as I've done years. So I had to go in there, get my phone to help rescue, trying to find someone, scuffle, and try to do the best I can to get someone to help protect me from the police. So no, while we wait on the supervisor, no, I actually felt my life was in jeopardy. But I feel like I'm in the civil rights movement, like Martin Luther King. He also had to fight for others and their civil rights and knew his life was in jeopardy. I mean, they've been getting away with this years. I'm tired of living in terror and being terrorized and forced to live in the government's abuse. They have gotten away with this chaos long enough. So they're looking for the supervisor to come out, bully, and cover up for the crimes. So when they get trapped in a bind to abide by the law and they don't want it's obvious they're committing a felony, the supervisor comes out and enforces the crime. These supervisors used to come pretty quick. Now I guess it takes a little bit longer to find out who will commit that felony, to get them bribed and everything, to get it under control. I saw in this report my job. They've committed a lot of crimes at my job. I mean, there's a lot of harassment. My supervisor, her name is Taraniqua.
Okay. Where do you work?
I don't work there anymore. I've called ever since September 29th. I've been calling. I'm denied law enforcement. I've called for a long time and I've been deprived of law enforcement. They would not call anyone out, as they haven't for years. It was a snake in front of a tent, and I was forced to live in because I could not, you won't investigate the conspiracy to violate civil rights report. I reported for a multitude of locations. Oh, look at, you got my YouTube channel. You still don't understand with a YouTube channel?
I didn't say I've ever seen it.
Okay, well then look at it, and you can see the clear-cut conspiracy to violate civil rights crimes.
What is it?
My civil rights gets violated routinely.
What is your YouTube channel? Civil rights violations on there.
Civil rights violations, how police interrupted me trying to speak with other parties, how I was arrested by reporting a crime of a theft of a battery pack, how I was arrested at Red Roof Inn, trying to report police abuse all day and my abuser and get out of an abusive situation. No one even called him out. I recorded that. I recorded places saying get out for people I didn't even know, trying to order and purchase food, and then threatened the police to enforce criminal activity. I reported how Attorney General has deprived me of funds, paid child support payments, how Social Security Administration locked and closed up to cover up for criminal activity behind Social Security benefits I should have been getting, and my son, back to 2008, when we have been deprived of those funds for a long time. So now they have concocted that they went back, paid payments. Now they have concocted that they have went back and took back the payments that they paid. It's not easy getting Social Security. You have to go through a long, drawn-out process. So this party went through that long, drawn-out process. Now they have concocted that they have went back and taken paid payments back. So not only are me and my son not eligible for the payments, they have went back and taken the payments back they already paid, so now I owe. This happened in 2008. They have not told me about this. They just told me about this in 2022. Then they had no proper records, no evidence of what they were saying at a whole Social Security Administration. All the operators shut down upon my arrival and had to wait. Then when they got their story together, then they assisted me, couldn't provide any documentation, couldn't get their story straight, a whole Social Security Administration. And prior to that, they locked and closed up because the government was getting caught in crimes. Before COVID, So they just shut the whole building down to prevent me to getting to the bottom of this embezzlement. I reported it to the police. Y'all come out, bully, cover, violate, arrest, assault, do all kinds of things to cover for crimes at any opportunity, at any event. I didn't know if you were just going to up and kill me. Because you've gotten away with other chaos. They looked around, scuffled, like they were looking for witnesses, and I didn't know if I was going to get shot. In some circumstances, I was relieved to just get arrested and not murdered.
It's quite a stretch, man.
It's a stretch? Well, that's why you should check out the YouTube channel. What I think is a stretch by abusing power in a way that makes the party sound mentally ill and use that as a alibi, I think that's a stretch. I think when our government reporting our government's abuse makes you sound mentally ill, I think that's a threat to national security. And you abusing your power and your criminal activity and using that as an alibi on why it's not investigatable because you know what you have done does not sound realistic. So you use that as an alibi to get away with more crimes. I think that's a stretch. Well, a stretch. We've been waiting on this supervisor a minute. It's getting harder and harder to come get someone and enlist people in these felonies.
Very short-handed, man.
Very short-handed. Yeah, I've called ever since September 29th. Can you tell me what happened? They told me to talk to the police.
On the 29th?
Yes.
I can
Oh, okay, at 5:50 a.m. I don't know why police get so bent out of shape for me reporting domestic abuse and deprive me of reports, as they've done years, which is a felony crime. I don't know why the Northern District Court gave me 2 criminal trespasses for trying to report this innocent man's abuse.
So, ma'am, I am going to have to ask you not to report my computer since there's...
Oh, I'm not at your computer?
No, ma'am, I'm just letting you know that I'm not going to allow you to report my computer, okay?
Okay. But you'll show, I don't understand what's happening. You interrupted me talking to you about this innocent man saying that I can't report your computer.
Again, because I'm trying to do what you asked me to do.
I wasn't recording your computer. You interrupted me trying to report this innocent man again like you guys have been doing years.
Look, I'm done dealing with you, okay? I've been nice.
They're trying to deflect. I don't know why I keep getting bullied trying to report this innocent man. I want to know what happened September 29th. You have no right to deprive me of why I was deprived of the right to report this. So they set up the chaos. They don't want me reporting my job. They don't want me to get any help. They want me to be struggling and, for assistance, trying to get deprived of services at these shelters. It's abuse. So why investigate what they already aware of and set up? He can't get his life straight about the YouTube channel. Some kind of way they have it, but won't investigate the chaos on it. So he's giving me information, but calling on his badge. Because they don't want to tell me, because it's a crime. You cannot deprive a person of the right to report emergency situations. They don't want me to know because it's a crime. So that's why all these parties have been playing games. If I call September 29th to report an emergency situation and they're depriving me of emergency assistance, that's criminal. Therefore, they don't want me to know. I mean, they were so out of control. I'm still waiting on because they don't want me to know. It's a crime. It's a crime. So they were so out of control, even interrupting me at hospitals, depriving me of medical treatment. At multiple. In jail, deprived of medical treatment there at 2 different jail experiences. So he called someone on the bed. They just enlist security to help them cover for crimes and bully. So he said, call someone out. Let's see who this is. Because they have all of it under control. They enlist anyone that'll conspire with the crimes and the criminal activity. Are you security? This police is committing a crime right here. What do you do? He's depriving me of a police report number.
How you doing, sir? You're good. What's going on?
He's committing a crime, depriving me of a report number for interference with child custody, hit and runs, multiple, even endangering people in their life. He's lying because someone got hit with a car and killed, hit 2 different times in one night.
Well, that was in East Texas.
But still depriving me of a report.
In May, his son got hit by a car. All that.
And I got hit with a car and I haven't reported that. I think it may be a link. It is a felony to deprive me. This is the crimes to disregard. He called someone on the phone, then the security officer came, and instead of taking my report, they're scheming to disregard. This is how the abuse is. This is when you're petty and have power to abuse.
What happened on the
Yeah, that's what we asked a long time ago. Who'd you call? Who'd you dispatch out? Because enlisting citizens to help you with your felony crimes is not acceptable. You shouldn't entice citizens that trying to go on their day-to-day tasks to be conspirators in your crime.
Well, on the 29th, you spoke with an officer on the phone. Is that correct, ma'am?
I don't know why I was deprived of dispatch like a normal human being and get placed in a safe environment for years.
Ma'am, right now we're very understaffed.
Sure.
We have calls
Sure.
holding for several days, and in an effort.
He said he was going to call me back and never did.
It says on here, ma'am.
No, I have it recorded. That's why I tried to give you the YouTube channel you wouldn't take.
Ma'am, it mentions that as well.
I like that smile you got on your face. What am I doing right here, right now? I just told you I was trying to report a crime to the police. Are you trying to bully me, intimidate me, trying to do so?
No, ma'am, I'm asking you questions.
Okay, well, can I finish? There's child abuse involved that they're covering up for. I already told you that.
What are you doing right here, right now?
I'm talking to the police, sir. Are you trying to bully me?
No.
Okay, well, can you please let me talk to the police? I'm not committing a crime. Why would you mistreat me trying to talk to the police? You have a no loitering policy? Where would you like me to talk to the police at?
Either
And in my emergency experience?
your emergency experience.
Yes.
You can take your YouTube channel. You live here?
Yes.
What
Hold on, sir. Are you interrupting my report to the police of child abuse, interference with child custody, hit and runs?
Can you tell me where you live?
Yes. Hello. The security is mistreating me with trying to talk to you guys. He's bullying me for trying to talk to you guys and saying I'm loitering.
Alrighty.
I don't know where to stand to report crimes.
So what can I help you with today?
Where do I stand? Because he's calling someone because I'm trying to talk to you guys. Oh, okay. So I reported to him that there was a hit and run in East Texas, 2 vehicles.